Okay, so I'm joined by David Artell, ahead of our game at home to Tranmere. Firstly, reflecting back on Saturday's 1-1 draw, I think what your final takeaways from that? Probably a game we should have won, could have won.
Yeah, I think after the game we said it was a positive point, and I still believe that to be the case. Having rewatched the game yesterday morning, we should have won. You know, we had by far the bigger chances. They'll say that they've had two great chances in the penalty and where Jordan's made a scrambling save. We've created far more throughout the game. So even if they, score them, we should have still won the game. We should have won the game. Period. However many they scored, because we created numerous chances, but we didn't. But the pleasing thing was we're sort of disappointed not to win at a team that's got the 5th best home record in the league. So, that I think that shows progress. The fans were magnificent throughout. And it's pleasing that you can feel like that, especially away from home as well, coming from behind again. So it sort of puts that to bed for a while. Might come back, you never know. But it puts that one to bed. And we come back home, where equally our fans have been amazing. We've got 4 games this month. And we need everyone to get right behind us, because it could be quite a pivotal month. We don't know. We're taking one game at a time. Age-old cliche, but it's true. And we've got another tough one tomorrow night.
And Evan Coury, obviously unfortunate not to score that chance. If you had a chance to speak to him, obviously, I think generally his play in that game was quite good. It was just that one chance, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, Ev had a great chance. Greeny had a great chance. Doug's had a great chance, and Rosie, literally last kick of the game. We've had a couple of other opportunities. Darrow's had a goal choked off that wasn't offside. Their goal, the penalty, is offside. We've had some real rough things. Don't get me wrong. For me to be absolutely impartial, it's Jason's hand on our goal. Should be an handball to them leading up to our goal, but we didn't get the rub of the green in 2 of the big key decisions. But it's not just a one player thing. This, whether that be Ev or anyone else, it's a collective. The players know it's a collective, and we want goals from all over the pitch. Hence why we like it when a centre half pops up in the box and in open play. That's what we're trying to create. I think that's coming, but we've still got work to do. I spoke to one of the players this morning. I went through his IDP with him, and one of his big areas for improvement is final third work, and he's not an attacker. So, we all know the journey we're on, and we've got to keep going and keep pushing so that we score more goals, create more chances, and whilst also making sure the opposition don't score. So we're still a work in progress. We'll never not be. If we're right at the top of the table or whatever we are next year, we'll still be trying to get better. That'll never stop. I don't think you can ever stop progressing and developing. So we're constantly trying to get better. I think we have. We lost 1 in 8 at home, something like that. We haven't lost in 5, 6, something like that. So we know we're becoming more consistent, which is something we spoke about before certainly before Christmas. And that's got to continue. If that continues for the next, 10, 12 games, then we'll see where we get to.
Yeah, and you say it's pleasing that we've got that consistency. I mean, we're the joint most in-form side in the league, which is continue the unbeaten run to 6 games now. I'm sure, like you say, it's just very pleasing, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said, we spoke about consistency, before Christmas, and we are becoming more consistent in a positive way. You can obviously be consistent by losing every week, but no, we're not. We're trying to. Like I said, we played on Saturday and we were disappointed in the end that we didn't win the game, which shows how far we've come. Certainly in a year. But also in the last 3 or 4 months, we didn't make anything of that injury crisis before Christmas. But it was the worst I've experienced as a manager, and the lads come through that terrifically well, like unbelievably well. And now we've got a few more options, and we're trying to still nurse 1 or 2. But at the same time, we feel as though we're getting more consistency because we're getting more players out on the pitch, and we've got a few different changes to make, and that helps. We've got a busy month, but it's one that we're all looking forward to.
Yeah, Tranmere tomorrow, obviously, as we say. Last time out against them, it was a Bickwoo that sealed us the 3 points. I'm sure you're hoping for another positive result.
Yeah, look, I saw them a couple of weeks ago against Fleetwood at home. They drew 0-0, competitive game. Sean saw them last Tuesday against Accrington, competitive. And that was under the previous manager. One thing you can rest assured, they'll be competitive, because they were for the previous manager, who I thought was extremely unlucky. By all accounts, the data said they should have took 14 points out of the last 18. And I appreciate we're in a results business and they only took 2, but it shows how well they've been playing. So it's not. I don't want anyone to think that this is going to be an easy game, because it's not. There's no easy games. Period. We're used to now. I think this is the 4th or 5th time this season we've played a team that's either changed the manager and we've played him in the first game or the second game. So there's all that uncertainty of what might the new or interim manager do. We've got to make sure we concentrate on ourselves and address any issues that they might throw up as the game unfolds, which is not always easy. At Barrow it caught us out, definitely. But then the other 3 occasions we've done really well against it. So, there's lots to work out. But at the same time, like I said, we're in a good vein of form, and we've got to make sure that continues tomorrow night.
I mean, the key advantage compared to Barrow is that you've had the opportunity to see one of their games. I mean, they had a positive draw, didn't they? 1-1 against Port Vale. So I'm not sure if you picked up anything from that.
Yeah. We watched it yesterday, and we've done the match prep this morning and showed the players at lunchtime. So it's hard to read too much into one game. You're trying to read it into individuals and their players. But at the same time, there has been changes, there has been tweaks, definitely, both in terms of formation, personnel, and also how they go about things. So, yeah, we've got to adapt to that. We've got to be, quick to realise that kind of thing. But like I say, at the same time, we've got used to that this year, as the football gods sort of thrown that up. But also, we've got to make sure that, irrespective of what the opposition does, it's about us. We concentrate heavily on ourselves to improve and to get better, and that's what we've got to continue doing, both from game to game and in game. And I think the journey that we're on is one of improvement, and we've got to keep improving and getting another positive result tomorrow night.
And there'll be a side, I think, that will be desperate for an away win. The last time they won away was the 19th of October against Bromley, so I'm sure that won't come into our prep, but that it's going to be difficult ties. They're going to be fired up, aren't they, to try and change that narrative? Yeah,
they've got the worst away record in the league. We know that, but I think when you change a new manager, you've got the opportunity to change a lot of things, and that kind of narrative can be changed quite quickly. Because, like I said, the players certainly haven't down tools or anything like that. They are working really hard, and we've got to make sure that we've got all them answers. We've got to match that. We have got to match that. They've got some good players, some really good players. It was a tight game at their place. I'm not envisaging anything other than another tight game.
Yeah, and lastly, chance to make it 7 unbeaten at Blundell Park. I'm sure that's something that you want as many supporters to get in there and try and push us all the way.
Yeah, look, I said after the game on Saturday, the fans that made the long trip to Cheltenham deserve a huge amount of credit. 700 and something. That's a fantastic showing. Make no bones about it. Please turn up tomorrow. Bring the same amount of voice as them 700 did. And for the 6,000-7,000, whatever number it is, and pack the park, get in there. And because it helps. I'm not just asking. Because you've got nothing better to do. I appreciate it. It's sometimes tough to do this and make that commitment, and we really appreciate it. But it does help. It doesn't half help. It helps us get over the line. It helps us to push on. And every little thing like that helps and matters at this stage of the season. And you never know, it can be crucial. And we really appreciate that support.